Propelio TV is sponsored by Noble Mortgage and Investments, Batchkip Tracing, Think Multifamily, CreativeCashflow.com, and Life and Air.
Look who we are going to go meet, Rachel Scheer Nutrition, to see if she can help us learn about health so we can stay healthy, because we're working crazy hours, and we're going to go to her office and find out how she can help us, maybe do a body scan if we're up to that. Yes. Are you up for a body scan?
Definitely.
Because most of the time when you go to your doctor, they don't, they just do the basic blood test, maybe, the basic, check your blood pressure. But Rachel, she is on the cover of this magazine, and this is how we could possibly go look. So let's go inside and let's go meet Rachel.
Hey, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Hi, Rachel. Great to be at your office.
I'm super excited to show you guys today.
I know.
Ready to get started?
Let's go. All
right. I'm actually connected with a law firm up there. I'm very good friends with the people who own the law firm, Javins Law. So they helped me find my initial location, getting up and going. And so let's go take a look. So my clients initially come in, they'll be greeted by the woman who works the front desk, in which they'll be able to sit here. Here's my information available for when they come in for a consult, and then I come and grab them after they fill out some intake forms, and we get them back for the consult. So come take a look. So this is going to be where I do all of my nutrition consulting. So when you come in for an initial consult or follow-up, we're going to sit here, go over all of your nutrition goals, your health concerns, dive in a little bit more into the lifestyle, because we want to find something that is going to help and be applicable for you in your lifestyle. So we'll go over a lot of different information, get really in depth. We'll create the nutrition plan for you. But I also have a body composition scan here, which we're going to run on these two lovely ladies. So knowing your body composition or percent body fat is essential, because it's a great indicator of your overall health. So a lot of doctors will look at BMI, which is just your weight and your height. I like to look at body composition, how much fat you have, how much muscle, and how much water you carry, so I can make appropriate dietary changes based off of serving size, food choices, but then we can also track your changes appropriately, as into muscle change, fat change, and make sure you're progressing as desired. So let's get you on here.
Okay, do I take my shoes off?
Yes,
Wait, I'm actually really excited about this.
I know. Because they always do the BMI. I got to take my jacket off.
Yep, mic it on.
Because that will take off at least 10 pounds, right?
Yep. Okay, so you take off shoes and socks, and you're going to put your feet on those little sensors first. And it's gonna,
oh my gosh.
It's going to get your weight.
We don't want to show my weight.
I love it.
Okay, you can hop off, put your shoes on. We're gonna get that printout. It gives us a little snapshot on the screen, but the printout's gonna be a lot more in depth into where current composition is at, how much muscle, fat, and water we're carrying, and also where we want to be ultimately. Oops, I need more paper. Okay, so looking at this information here, we can see your overall weight. You can see how much pounds of fat you carry, how much dry lean mass you have, so essentially everything that's not water or fat, and how much water you carry. Usually about half of your body weight will be water, which is completely normal. You can see where you carry the most of your lean mass, and then we can also be able to see your percent body fat and how that compares to overall BMI. So again, percent body fat is really what we want to look at. So essentially we want to be down here in this range here with our percent body fat. So with bringing down the percent body fat, that would just be implementing a meaningful calorie deficit, focusing on whole foods, which we would talk about during the consult.
Wait,
oh my gosh, that is so cool.
That is so cool.
I don't like my results.
You need to grab a piece of paper. You just won't get the pretty paper. So this is an example of what an actual in-body composition report looks like. So as you can see how much water you'll carry, dry lean mass, body fat mass, and then your overall weight. So looking at this BMI versus percent body fat is essentially the better indicator of health. Having this information, we can make appropriate dietary changes, but also track your changes as you progress. So where's your weight going? Where's your muscle mass? Is that going up? And also your overall percent body fat.
Okay, so what am I doing? Do I just...
Yeah, put your heels right on the little sensors. Perfect.
Oh God, don't look at my weight.
Okay, thumbs on top, arms just straight hooked out.
Do I have to squeeze hard or just...
Nope, just that's not even bad at all. That's great. I wrote what the terms are on here. Weight, drying mass, body fat mass, weight, skeletal muscle mass, body fat mass.
Oh, and it's how much weight's in your legs. Oh, look.
You have a lot more. You're a little right dominant.
Oh my God, that's so freaking cool. This is so freaking cool.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
So it gives you your basal metabolic rate. So actually eating pretty close to your basal metabolic rate will implement a meaningful calorie deficit, because your BMR is how many calories you burn at rest, but you're not laying in bed all day doing nothing. You're going to work, doing dishes, cleaning, walking your dog, and then you're also exercising on top of that. So that would automatically put you in a calorie deficit when you eat pretty close to your BMR. Just how many calories for weight loss.
That's what I need.
For maintenance, let's say you would add calories to that, and then for muscle gain, you would add even more to your maintenance calories.
See, look how good you are.
Yeah. So one of my favorite tests to run is called Dutch testing. This stands for Dried Urine Test for Comprehensive Hormones. This would be one of the most extensive hormone testing you could get done. We look at the whole metabolic pathway of all of your hormones, detoxification processes. We look at your adrenals, so your body's stress response with cortisol, and some micronutrients. Another one that I love is going to be a stool test, but it's gut microbiome. So our gut is so important. It's the foundation for our health. So if our gut's in balance, that can affect our immune system. It can affect our digestion, of course. It can affect our weight. So it can cause a whole host of issues, even up to cognitive function, depression, and anxiety. So gut is one of my favorite topics to talk about. So I run some of those tests. And we actually do it all right here in my office. So any blood tests that I need to draw, I draw them right here. Because I'm a certified phlebotomist, I run the blood and I ship it off to the lab. And then once we get the results, we go over it together and we incorporate that with our current nutrition plan and protocol.
1 pound of fat. 1 pound of fat.
Propelio.com. What does Propelio offer? Lead generating websites. Access to true MLS comps. Off-market lead lists. And deal alerts. Get them all today at Propelio.com.
So we're here with Rachel Scheer and your nutrition. We're here in your office. Hi, Shelby.
Hey, how are you?
We're so excited to talk to Rachel because we know how important health is, especially as all three of us business owners, so many business owners out there. So really wanted to go over with you how important health is, because without that, you know, everybody's high stress these days, low energy. So we are here to see if you can help Shelby and I and how you help your clients with health. So nice to see you.
Yeah, great to see you both again. I'm
Yes.
super excited to have you both here in my office. And I know oftentimes when we think about entrepreneurs and success, nutrition, fitness, it's usually not going to be the first thing that comes to mind. But really, your nutrition and your health is going to be the foundation for reaching the next levels that you want with your business. So oftentimes how I like to explain it is nutrition, it gives us energy, not only to think clearly, but to stay focused. If you're too tired and counting down the hours until you can go home and take a nap from work, you can kiss goodbye to any progress that you're trying to make on the professional front. So good nutrition, it gives you the energy to think clearly, but also stay focused. For example, omega-3s, which come from fatty cuts of fish, like salmon, they boost cognitive function. Antioxidants, which come from blueberries, help with memory retention. So our food is our fuel. So if we're not fueling correctly, that's going to greatly hinder any progress that we're trying to make on the professional front.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm always tired. I need you to like overhaul my diet.
Yeah.
I know when you wake up, and I always find it interesting, you know, being in real estate. We have a real estate attorney, we have an accountant, we have all these business people, and then we always forget that maybe health, and then it really seems that, and I'm sure you would agree, that having a health coach or someone to keep you accountable is really, really important in business, to hire. Have you ever hired someone health coach? Look at your nutrition?
But that makes sense because your health is one thing that no matter how much money you have, you can't buy your health. I mean, I guess technically you can help with that, but, illness doesn't discriminate. But if you start eating healthier and taking care of yourself, later on down the road, it'll pay off. So it makes sense that, like you said, you think of all of these people that you have, business lawyers, accountants, etc., but you don't really consider your nutrition or your health and wellness.
Yeah, they don't take that as a priority from a business standpoint. They think, I'll stay up as late as I want, I'll go out and drink and all of this, and think it's going to have no effect on the business front. But if you're staying up late, having one too many drinks, let's say now you're sleeping in, when you go to work the next day, do you think you're going to be as productive as you possibly could? And as an entrepreneur, you need to be on the top of your game. You need to be able to make quick and fast decisions on a daily basis. So let's say you've been staying out late and now your brain's foggy and you have to make a fast decision, whether it be between a deal or a sale that you're trying to make, and then you're just not on the top of your game. There's an opportunity cost always at stake. So it greatly is going to affect your business from that aspect as well too.
I know my dad, he was an entrepreneur. My grandpa owned his own business, and then my dad owned his own business. Mm-hmm. And then, he didn't take care of his health at all as an entrepreneur, and at the age of 58 died of a stroke. Mm-hmm. And so now me getting closer to that age, I'm like, I have really made that a number one priority in my business now, especially working out. But I think there's so much with health, like you said, and so much that your company, how did you really get started in being so, involved in the health and wanting to help so many people?
I've always enjoyed helping people, given my background as a nutrition and a dietitian. Being able to help other people improve their quality of life has just been always a lifelong passion of mine. My father suffered from mental illness, so I truly believe my life's purpose is not for me, but to help and serve others and to add value back to them. So I enjoy fitness, I enjoy nutrition, so my life's purpose is to do it through that, I would say.
That's great. I know a lot of people, you may think they look great from the outside, or look thin, and then all of a sudden you hear they have a heart attack or something. Yeah. So you have no idea really what's going on in someone's life. So you went to school for it. Just want to tell us a little bit of how you got started. You went to Baylor. I think that's
great.
So
I went to Baylor for nutrition and dietetics. At first I thought I actually wanted to be a clinical dietitian. I worked for a children's hospital for a while, but I soon realized that was just not the route that I wanted to go. So I was in a basement, no windows, doing a lot of just computer work, no face-to-face with any of the clients, which is what I love. I love people, I love being around people, and I love helping them. So when I wasn't really able to do that, I realized that really wasn't the route I wanted to go. Also, working for a big corporation, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just always had a desire to really build my own business and build my own brand and to do it the way that I wanted to do it. So after I did that for a while, I worked for a physician's private practice where I really learned the ins and the outs of having your own business and also more on the medical side of having your own practice. So I got a lot of the experience. Simultaneously, I was also building up my social media, which I know we'll talk about here shortly, on how that can be beneficial for your business. But getting that experience, I was able to then slowly continue to build up my business to a point where I was able to actually open my own practice that you're here today at.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, both of you being young entrepreneurs, I think it's just great.
I do too. I love the fact you're 26 and you're killing it. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
We're leaving her hanging.
Yeah. That's great, though. Yeah, to get started. So, how did you get your first customer? Do you remember your first client?
I do.
The whole process of getting them. Were you nervous, scared when somebody's really ready to pay me? I have my own company. They're ready to pay me as a consultant.
So I was doing some online coaching for a while, actually, but it wasn't face-to-face. It was just online. It was another source of income for me while I was working for some of the other jobs that I was doing. But I remember I was actually working out at a gym nearby, and someone came up to me and they were like, "Oh my gosh, you're so fit. I'd love to work with you. What do you do? Are you a trainer?" And I was like, well, no, I'm not a trainer. I'm a nutritionist. I work for different companies, but I really don't do one-on-one counseling. I just work for, this physician's practice, which you have to be a member of to come. She's like, "Well, I would love to work with you, like if you could help me out with nutrition." And I kind of debated going back and forth, and we actually started meeting at a coffee shop. And I told her I'd help her with nutrition, so we would meet at a Starbucks, and I would just create a nutrition plan for her. We would do little consults in there, and she got great results. She lost a ton of weight. She built a lot of muscle. I actually even set her up with like a fitness program as well too. So I was just like her coach, helping her out. And she ended up referring me to some of her friends who wanted to work with me. So before I knew it, I was meeting, a couple people in Starbucks here and there for nutrition consults. But I couldn't keep just meeting in coffee shop after coffee shop because I was having now quite a bit of people want to work with me. And my intention really wasn't to just do that full time, but I really was enjoying it. And like I said before, I wasn't really getting the full enjoyment out of working for these big corporations, just paying time for dollars and being able to do what I loved, but also to do it on my own terms. It kind of just prompted the idea is like, oh my gosh, I could really do this full time. So I just basically used whatever means I had available. So I had 0 location, meeting in Starbucks at first, doing nutrition consults, just focus on giving people good results. And I think that's how it started. I wasn't focused on having a big location. I wasn't focused on so much of like the image. I was just focused on, okay, these are my clients. Let's get them good results. Let's, give them all that they need. And then from that, people see the value. And if you give a good job, I think the best compliment anyone can give you is just a referral. Yeah. So that's basically how it started for me. It reached a point where, like I said, I could no longer just be taking over Starbucks with all my consults. So I actually rented an office here in this location, which is actually a law office. And I was just borrowing a room at the time. I was then now meeting clients just in one of the rooms. We had a small circle table, but it was a little bit more personable, a little bit more professional, a little bit more private as well too. And then from there, I continued to just grow my client basis to the point where I actually decided to get my own office in here and just continued to expand with the services, be able to do body composition scans. And from that, it just continued to grow into what it is now.
So a lot of people are afraid to start their business because they always have the excuse, I don't have any money, I don't have a location, every excuse in the book. And it sounded like you were, really able to overcome that. Both of you probably, right?
I'm still overcoming it.
But Rachel, though, how from the time you started meeting clients at the Starbucks, what was that time frame for you to have your office right now that you made that decision?
I probably did the Starbucks consults for a good 6 months getting started. But what I would really like to express to people is you don't have to have everything perfect. And I think that's what a lot of people think. You have to have the perfect location. You have to have all the advertising. You have to have the website. You just have to have everything perfect. And then they'll take that leap and then start up the business, which really people just need to go for it. They just need to use the means that they have available. They need to just jump in. When I jumped in, I was not doing any of this. I didn't have the plan. I didn't have the preparation, but I had the vision on where I wanted to go. So I just used what I had available. I didn't even have an office, or then I borrowed an office, and then I just continued to build my network, and also using the people I have around me who are good connections as well too was very helpful. So knowing the people who worked in this office, they helped me find the location and giving me that space. So never be hesitant also to reach out and ask for help. And I think a lot of people struggle with that, is the ask.
Exactly.
And it's perfectly okay to ask for help when you need it. I know if someone were to ask me and if I had the resources available, I would certainly help out as well too. So I would just say, just take that leap and jump in and go for it. And yes, there'll be always going to be obstacles along the way, but if we continue to wait for that perfect moment, it's never going to happen, and nothing is ever going to be perfect where we want it to be.
I have to say, I agree with you on that.
Yes.
When I found my space, it was one of those things where you can analyze it all day long, but until you take that jump, you just have to figure it out as you go, because no matter, the best laid plans often go awry. So you can plan, but it's usually never going to pan out the way you've planned it. So that's one thing that I wish that I could go back and do a little bit more planning, but then again, I am where I am because I took that leap when I did, and it'll all work out the way it's meant to work out. You have to keep moving and keep going, and you can't stop and look back and think, oh, well, I should have done this. Well, okay, next time you can do that. But you're right, you just have to go for it.
Yeah.
Because if you overanalyzation paralyzation is what they say, then you'll just stop and you'll never grow. So you have to do that. So good for you.
Yeah, you have to take risks. I mean, if we're always just trying to sit in like this safety net, never, taking any risks or anything, we're never going to get the results that we want. It's like the same thing with fitness and nutrition, kind of going back to that. You have to be able to take risks. You have to be able to just go for it, and you have to be all in. And I think that's what how entrepreneurship is also hand in hand with nutrition and fitness. You have to go all in. You have to work at it every single day. It's not something you can just do for a short time. It's something that you have to be consistent, and you have to just put all your effort into it. It's a lifestyle, and the same thing kind of with your business too. You have to be able to just go all in and go for it, and versus just saying, well, as soon as this falls into this place and this place and this place, and then I'll go for it. I just say start. Just start with whatever means you have available.
I know when I read about some of the successful entrepreneurs, it's like, okay, I went to bed at 12 and I woke up at 4, getting about 4 hours of sleep. And so to keep that, I would, they don't really teach in grade school, high school, even college or life, how to make sure your health is so important, to keep that stamina. The most successful people I know have the highest stamina that I've ever seen. They never look like they're tired. They just continue to work. They have everything, but stamina to me is the number one thing I've seen from, the billionaire entrepreneurs I know. They just keep going. I mean, they can travel to Europe, come back.
Well, help me get that stamina because I'm always dragging.
So I know it's so confusing out there. I was just this weekend at a vitamin store, and I was just overwhelmed of the supplements, all the protein, everything that you could possibly take. And so I think it's great to have you as a resource instead of walking into a place like that thinking I need it all, which I probably don't, but to be able to keep that. So it would be great to go over with you here in your office, to figure out, if we were your clients, we want to be your clients, what the first step would be to get us so we have that energy.
Well, and I think it's great too. It'll show a different dynamic because, I'm 30. You're and you're well,
I'm a few years older than 30
too.
But it's nice to know that you can start eating healthy at a young age to help sustain your vitality. So, and I think a lot of people, me included, think, oh, well, I'll start taking care of myself when my metabolism stops. But I really need to start doing it now because I'm noticing a big difference. I have to be on point all the time, and I'm not because I'm foggy, and it's because of what I'm eating. So I'm actually I'm trying to make that change right now. It's slow because I'm addicted to processed sugar and carbs.
And a lot of us are. It's a very addictive society as well too, but we do need to take that preventative approach. We don't want to get to the point where now we have high cholesterol, now we're having cardiovascular events, we're having other type of health conditions, which is unfortunate where most people, they get to that point when they're like, okay, well now I really need to get serious about my health. Well, now things are starting to catch up with them. For example, people become pre-diabetic. When you become a full-blown diabetic, you lose about 80% of your beta cell function of your pancreas, and that's irreversible. Wow. So we need to take a preventative approach because sometimes a lot of it may be too late. So we were in our 20s, I mean, even as a kid, but definitely as a young adult, we need to be taking that preventative approach so we can prevent a lot of these health risks later on, but also, have the energy we need to be successful, to be at the top of our game with our business. It goes so much beyond just the physical and just the way we look. It translates to all areas of our life, and that's the point I like to get across is it's not just about the physical and it's not just about about having six-pack abs or, lifting as much weight as you can in the gym. It just affects all areas of your life. It affects your mental health. It's going to affect your business, and it's going to affect just honestly everything. So it's something to be taken very seriously.
Well, and I think too, when I worked for a concierge doctor in Atlanta, a lot of people would say, oh, well, it costs too much. Well, how much are you spending on your nails? How much are you spending on your hair? How much, you can make it work. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, I don't have the money. Okay, well, maybe don't go shopping at wherever you shop this week, or, don't go get your nails done. It's just little things that you can do that really, getting your nails done is not going to, it may help you a little bit, but it's not going to benefit you, but your health will in the long run. So it's just those little cuts that I just think it's so funny when people say, oh, well, I don't have the funds. Well, you have the funds to go out and drink, or you have the funds to go, get your hair done, or buy makeup. So make it to where you have the funds available to take care of your health.
Yeah, it's all about priorities, essentially. People will find the resources for what's important to them. But let's say, you don't really want to invest the money into a nutritionist or a trainer or into your health by buying good, wholesome foods. You're going to pay for it at some point. You're going to either invest into it now, invest into your health, or you're going to pay for it later. You're going to pay for it. We're trying to work on the illnesses that you have, trying to get back into good health, doctor visits, and it's going to affect then your productivity at that point. So you're either going to pay for it now, and I don't like the word pay, but invest because it's an investment into your health, or you're going to pay for it later. So at some point, there's going to be some type of a give, and personally, I would rather invest in it now and have that longevity and have the productivity that I want versus be paying for it later. And, you can't be very productive from a hospital bed either.
I know. If you're sick and you're sick out for a week,
yeah,
it's hard to make money when you don't feel good. Well, I'd love to go into your office. I know you have, a body scan, and just to go over some tips with Shelby and I, we're going to hop on that
we'll
body
get y'all on
scan.
the body scanner, go over
And,
what's a healthy body composition and how we can help you achieve your goals. I'll go over a little bit about how the nutrition counseling works, and it'll be great.
Awesome.
Propelio TV is sponsored by Noble Mortgage and Investments, Batchkip Tracing, Think Multifamily, CreativeCashflow.com, and Lifener.
Want to keep up with the latest Propelio TV daily? Be sure to subscribe and click that bell.